He's averaging 40, but he is not the MVP. I saw this post on Twitter last week, and it worried me. Not because people are making an MVP case for Luka. He has been on a heater. There's been 4 games since this post, and he's still averaging about 40. He has more points than he has minutes, which is insane. I can't think of anyone doing that other than Joel Embiid that one season. And also Wilt Chamberlain, I guess, because he averaged 50, but that was back in the day. I'm talking about my lifetime. So it is absurdly impressive, but we need to contextualize that with the rest of the season. For the first 31 games of the season, his shots just weren't falling. With this very large sample size, he was shooting a little bit below 33% from 3, which is quite a bit below the league average of around 36%. But ever since then, for the second half of the season, he's been shooting over 40% from 3, which is absurd. That's absurd efficiency at an insane volume, which is honestly crazy. I should probably stop talking about how good he's been playing because I'm going to convince myself that he is the MVP. But this is just one reason as to why he's definitely not going to win the award. He is not as consistent as Mr. Consistency.
My whole life is consistent. Everything I do.
There is just no world where he is or was going to win MVP. In this post, they had him sitting about a 9% chance. But on DraftKings, the same day this post was made, he was sitting at a plus 1,400, which is less than a 7% chance to win MVP. That's like the same chance that Bam drops 83 points on the Wizards. Or let me think of a better example. That's about the same chance right now that the Cleveland Cavaliers win the NBA championship, which is just not going to happen, especially when you're relying on the beard and Mr. 18-8 Evan Mobley. No, I'm kidding. I did just buy a James Harden jersey. I do love James Harden, but the Cavs are not going to win the NBA championship. And these posts just make it seem like this race is a lot closer than it actually is. Like it's literally saying, who is your MVP? But my real issue is this little paid partnership tag, because Polymarket is paying to push this agenda and change the NBA narrative because they are betting everything on the fact that people will see this, be fooled into betting on Luka, but then that Luka will inevitably lose the MVP race. And I know for a fact, because I have a friend who recently may or may not have done some work for Polymarket, that Polymarket is pushing posts like these and agendas like these onto accounts without labeling them as paid partnerships and carefully crafting them to seem like unsponsored posts so that these takes and that these conversations seem more authentic to even further convince people. So be careful with your money and be careful where you're getting your NBA narratives from, because they may or may not be narratives paid for by gambling companies. And it's going to be interesting to see how these narratives impact actual MVP voting. We saw Wembanyama pushing narratives on himself, and after he pleaded his case on why he should be the MVP, he jumped right up to be neck and neck with Shai now. So I hope we can keep the integrity of MVP voting with all of these gambling companies now, because we all saw what happened earlier this year with Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups. And I'm wishing the best for Luka. I wrote this idea for a video right before Thursday's game against OKC. We ended up leaving with a hamstring strain, and it looks like he is going to be out the rest of the season. So we're going to be ignoring that game. And that was actually his 64th game with alongside Ant, and Cade is making him ineligible for postseason awards. But that's a whole nother video for another day. Anyways, if you're still here, comment who your MVP is, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good day.